I'm going to conclude now the Maimer that we're learning Dirshu Havayeh b'Moishe, Tavshin Chavdalet, the final h'tשכ. So he's saying, in order to overcome, to defeat the makif of klippa, which is not a particularized klippa, but it's an all-encompassing klippa. I mean, this is it's true, but it's a terrible story. No names, but someone told me that in yeshiva, so once a teacher said to him, this is in front of the whole class, I mean, these things don't happen anymore, thank God. And even then, I would hope that they were very rare. But the truth is, we're made of tougher skin in those days. By that I mean, we didn't take ourselves so seriously, which has an upside and a downside, but there's certainly an upside to it. Doesn't mean you don't take what you have to do seriously. You didn't take yourself seriously, and that's healthy. Not impressed with oneself, but with the responsibility, yeah. At any rate, so the teacher said to him, he says, everybody has a problem. There's no one that doesn't have an imperfection, a problem. Everybody has. You don't have any problems, he says to this one kid. You are the problem. Truth is that tough skin or not, the kid carried that. It's 50 years later and he still tells the story. It did its damage. God will help him, does help him to overcome it. But that's what really the Maimon was talking about, that makiv of klippa is not as a particular problem, an isolated, particular failure, particular temptation on occasion that one encounters, or one encounters on occasion, and it's particular, it's identifiable, and it comes. And when it comes, it's recognizable, obviously, and it's not always present. It doesn't have the temerity, the chutzpah to constantly try and derail us because we're not always interested. Because the person's in control. We're talking about it's a high level. The person's in control of himself, and the Ra, the Nefesh Bahamis, slips in moments of weakness. That's the higher level. There are moments of weakness. But the klippa de Ra is not a moment of weakness. I am the problem. So it's makif. And he gave the examples that we learned earlier. So he said the h'tשכ to that, and paradoxically herein lies it's the lower level of Eved, that he's the tachlis, in the sense that reaches really the most essential and therefore in the end luminous levels. And the way to deal with the Ra de klippa is klippa de makif is klippa de kedusha, not particularized kedusha, but makif de kedusha, not a particular kedusha, but a makif of kedusha, which we explained at length of the previous two shiurim. And that's why it's dafka connected to Moishe Rabbeinu, who is the makif de kedusha. It's the gilui ha'yechida, it's the level of the yechida, and it translates in simple words in dogged kabbalas oil. Dogged kabbalas oil, and again, not once in a while, when one engages in it so that one doesn't feel entirely useless and guilty. So once in a while, the person engages in kabbalas oil to satisfy his conscience. We're not talking about that kabbalas oil. We're talking about a sustained kabbalas oil, or as I said in the previous year, it would not even mean necessarily in everything. It's not feasible. Okay, from now on I'm going to do everything. Although its theory is possible, we're talking about action, not feeling, so actions are always possible. But even that's not so much demanded, as I told you the story, without repeating it again, but the nekuda is that even in one area, one achlota, that's critical, that one has struggled with, that one makes achlota, that come not may, this will be done. That's the opening. That's the foundation of Kabbalah's Oil, even in one area of Machshava, Dibur, and Maaseh. Continuing now, and that is, he says, that then, as we mentioned in the previous year, Eftach lechem kepischi shel ulam, I will open you, said God, like the opening of the ulam, of the entrance hall to the Beis HaMikdash, if you just give me that opening of the eye of the needle. As it says in the words of Havayeh, and then he is not destined to the constant Kabbalah's oil, but the Shleimus Havayeh, God says, I want you to not only surrender, but I want you to understand and feel me, enjoy me, and celebrate with me. So that will come. The Kreichas Pnimim will be engaged, because that's what God desires. That's the Dir B'Tachtonim. Your wife doesn't just want you to surrender to her in your Pearl Mamish. That's the foundation, to be loyal on the practical level, but that's not enough. She wants your heart, your mind to feel, engage, and experience you, and she wants you to experience her. So that's the Kreichas Pnimiyim which follows. But only follows after this Kabbalah Soil. Okay, that can be elaborated upon, but let's finish the Maimar Ches. And now we'll understand the Pasuk and all the questions and the tensions that were raised at the beginning of the Maimar. The Pasuk says, Moishe says to the Yidden, and he quoted this Pasuk in order to understand the Pasuk Acha Sha'alti, that David the Melech asks one thing, but he asks many things, and David responds to God's query, you did the same. And where do you do the same? In this Pasuk here. What does God want? Kim liyira. And then it goes on to enumerate a whole lot of things, to cleave and to attach yourself and serve Him. So I learned from you, and God accepts that answer from David HaMelech. So now we understand this whole dialogue and the various other questions that were raised at the beginning of the Maimar. So let's begin now. Yisrael. And this is what the Pasuk says. Moishe says to Yidden, listen here, Yidden. V'ata now, this is what's the now? Now is after the 40 years. Finally getting it. I can see that you're getting it, says Moishe. Anybody? Why does he say now only, that you have a heart to feel, eyes to see? Ata now, Rashi explains why only now. Okay, homework. Look up Rashi. It's related. Of course it's related. Something that the Yidden expressed. Says Moshe Rabbeinu, I see you getting it. Now we can talk. That's all la'achon till now. We're all trying to figure it out. Now we figured it out. Meant to be that way. It takes 40 years to figure it out. So V'ata Yisrael. So now Mo'avai lekecha shel mimach. Okay, I have homework, friends. What did Moshe Rabbeinu saw that made him respond this way? So what does the Eibishter want from you? Kim liyira, only one thing. Only one thing, just to be in awe of Him. Be'emes is what Mana spoke of Rabbi Friedman last night. He explained what yira means, and really what he's saying is what we're learning in this Maimar. Not afraid of getting struck down, burning in hell, or not getting a good life. That's not what yira means. That's not fear of God or fear of heaven. As you said, that's just loving yourself. Why? Not afraid of this, because if someone else has it, you're not afraid. That's only if you have it. So what is the yira? Is exactly the point we're talking about here. As he expressed it yesterday, I'm Jewish, what am I going to do? I've got to do it. Shezeh Kabbalah Soil, that's Kabbalah Soil. I'm a chassid. This is what a Yid does. Inspired or not. Even though externally it's a very low level. Why is he doing it? Because I'm Jewish. You understand? Not really. Feel. Don't know what that means. So why doing this? What do you mean? Why? It's what a Yid does. So therefore, it's kiyum liyira. in brackets, Shalchein Neufel al Zeh Aloshin, that's why Moshe Ben expresses it, this level with, what does he want? Ki'im only. And the Gemara says, the way he phrases that, you're saying it's a middle, says this is a small matter. Yeah. Because not asking any big understanding, inspiration, and feeling. You don't have it. You're not capable even of it at this point in your life. You know what it means to feel. And understand? No. So it's kiyim, it's all I'm asking. It's a small matter. It's a behavioral thing. What are you going to do? You're a chassid, a chassid learns chitas and Rambam. And he behaves in a certain way, talks in a certain way. That's what chassidim do. So nonetheless, what am I going to do? So this is connected with the makif. What's the makif? So then why are you doing it? Because I'm a Jew. No, that's why. That's what Jews do. So where does that come from? The I am a Jew. Where is that? What makes you Jewish? Because you understand, you feel something? No. Makes you Jewish because I don't know why. Because I'm born Jewish. That's Yechid, that's God's doing. That's who I am. That's the Yechid. So that's how the Havayeh begins. That's Kiyum Liyiro. So now, this is the second Eved, or actually the first Eved identified, who does the menial tasks that's as it were, Kavayachal beneath the dignity of the master. But someone's got to do it, so he does it. Someone's got to chop the wood, or the house is going to be cold. Nothing to eat. So he does it. It's dry, it's without inspiration. But it's the Yechid. That will lead to, if it's sustained, and what this really means is he has divested himself of choice. He's confronted the fact this is not a discussion, not a choice. I'm Jewish, I'm a chassid, this is what Jews do. This is the true free choice. The true free choice is to choose not to choose anymore. Freedom not to choose, but freedom from choosing, that's the ultimate free choice. Enough of the debates and discussions already. I decided already, I acknowledged, I admitted, I'm a Yid. This is what Yidden do. I'm a chassid, this is what chassidim do. How do I know? Somebody told me. It's written. Where is it written? It's written. You always say, where is it written? Open the book and find out it's written. You don't know, look at someone who is doing it. So it's koilel. So if that is there, and that's the foundation, that's koilel, kol in yoni aveda, that will then lead to the opening of the heart and the mind. Aleches b'chol drachav, and b'chol drachav explained to anybody, what's the madrega b'chol drachav? That's the higher eved. That's God's ways, the pathways of the divine, that's understanding and feeling. Laved, the higher level of aveda, it'll lead to that. The heart will open, the mind will engage, the mind will feel. The heart will feel, the mind will understand. And why? Because it's you, that's why. Enjoys the supper, right? The example of our husband. He's enjoying the supper, but he's enjoying it because you made it and it's yours. You made it for me, so I can't believe that, so he's enjoying it. That's the enjoyment. And this is now the explanation and understanding of our pasuk. One thing I asked is David HaMelech, and then Hashem counters one thing you're asking lots of things. To which he responded, I learned this from you. You taught me this. So he came to me only with one thing, which is our pasuk, which we're looking at right now, which is why we're quoting it. What is God asking? Nothing other than Kim Liyira. And then you keep on going with the pathways and be loyal and feel and do. And So now we have the understanding of Inyan Bazeh, and the matter is Shebe'em is tak only one thing. Shol David rak David echad levad. David the Melech has only one thing. Help me acknowledge that I'm a Yid, and this is what a Yid does. But then mistaifim, from that will branch, or boim gam sharat, from the rest will follow. The manifestations, the consciousness, mind and heart and feelings will all come to life. Vinyan zeh lo b'akadosh baruch hu. This you learn from the Eibush Tamim. Cholamadeti. You taught this to us. Sh'omar David echad b'lvad. You started off through your Moishe Rabbeinu. That's what you said before. That it's that who counters the Avodah Zarah. Bera. Aaron said to Moishe, they didn't do anything bad. They're just bera. It's come to define them, and therefore you have to deal with this. So what does Moishe say? Ma Hashem lakecha Hashem imach ki im liyira. So we learned this from you. It's only one thing. Kindalach Kabbalah sel bilvad. The acceptance of the yoke of heaven, and l'shinyan zeh koil or kol yuni avodah, that this will then embrace and manifest itself in every aspect of avodah, in all levels of consciousness and experience, in the celebration of Yiddishkeit, in the drachav, in feeling and experiencing the joy of heaven, in the joy of a Yid's avodah. This one thing is yichida. This is the achas. And if you touch the essence, then the essence will manifest and express itself in every pathway, in every way of its ordained expression. Concluding our the pasuk, which the Maamar began with, Dirshu Havayeh b'motzai, seek God when He's found. And the Maamar asked what appears to be an absolute contradiction. It can't be yochid. On the one hand, the Gemara says that when is God found more than any other time, it's during the 10 days of Shuva, where even the individual, God's accessible. Now, the Rebbe explains what does can't be yochid mean, so that's less than. Better a minyan, but even a yochid during a Seresamei Shuva can connect. What the Alter Rebbe explained, can't be yochid, yichidish benefesh. So it's a less than and more than. Now that we've learned this Maamar, we understand it exquisitely. The simple meaning is taka less than. What's the tzibur? The tzibur is someone who is the 10 people, represents the 10 faculties of the soul that they're firing in chokhmah, and bina, and das, and chesed, and gevurah, as you learned in Tanya lately, as he identifies all of these levels and explains them. That's tzibur. So he's not holding by tzibur, he's holding by yochid. Kabbalah soil, and that's it. That's the Alter Rebbe's Pirush. So the Pirush HaPoshet is that Yochid Olamata B'tzibur. That is the Pirush HaPoshet. This is the deeper meaning of the simple meaning. The deeper meaning is he's not holding by tzibur, not holding by an inspired. He's not inspired. What's he holding by? Yochid, Kabbalah soil. And then the Pirush HaTmor HaZoken said, where does this Kabbalah soil come from? So why are you doing it if you're not inspired? What do you mean why? I got no choice. I'm a Yid. This Yochid Kol Avodah Shmesat B'chinas HaYechida. This is the expression of the Yechida. That's the Kiyum Liyira. Again, the Rabbanas was explaining last night. That's the expression of the Yechida. Vinyan Bazeh Shabbat Avodah the Kabbalah Soil B'lvad. That's starting with the Avodah. It's simply Kabbalah Soil. It's just I'm just Jewish. What am I going to do? The guy walking by, the kid's pinned under the car. What am I going to do? Walk by. Ignore this. So he exerts himself and picks up the car, does the extraordinary thing. Why'd you do that? I mean, why? The kid's pinned there. It's a whole cheshbon. He's a very sensitive person and understands. No. This was it. Push it. And that's Kvi Shalamata Me'as Keichas Supreme. So this is lower than the 10 conscious faculties. That's Yochid Shalamata Mitzibur. This is a level of Yochid lower than the Tzibur. That Mizgala B'chinas HaYechida, that reveals the Yechida, and they tell us at the end that, like these Maimorim, the end of the words were missing. They didn't catch the end of the words that the Rebbe said. I didn't remember exactly. All right, friends. So this is. Tomorrow we'll give a little summary, and in the remaining minutes, Mamish, we will tell you this.